Hey folks, Quilly here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Aurora 4X. A little bit of time has advanced since the last episode, and we've got some exciting things to show and talk about. So, a few things. First of all, let's take a look at Mars over here. We are on the cusp of finishing the terraforming of Mars. The temperature is now in the safe range for humans. Humans want -10 to plus 28 or something like that. As a surface thing, we're now in that range over here. The only thing we still have missing is the fact that our oxygen is above 30%. That is too much. So I'm going to keep pumping greenhouse gases for now, which will bring down the oxygen percentage, as well as improving the temperature a wee bit, because right now the planetary suitability is still just at a 2. I've gone through our solar system and I've basically gone ahead and tagged all of the comets and asteroids that are left that have a decent number of material. They don't have a lot over here. Like, here's a good example. Not a lot of materials in total, but really, really good accessibility. And then what I've gone and done is for each one of these places, I just went into civilian slash industry status over here and just put in a demand for 1 mass driver and 50 automated mines at each one of these. I'm just going to use the civilian service to shuffle this stuff around. Right now, there's not a supply of any of these. Well, that's not literally true. Earth, I've got it set. Oh, it's already gone by. Let's say I got it set that it was supplying I think 5 mass drivers, which is what I have available, minus the one that I had left over. And then it had a handful of automated mines. It is working on building some more, which is good, because I can go ahead and say I currently have 21 automated mines, which I will supply, and I'm going to keep getting people to push this stuff out everywhere. And then if it starts to arrive at one of these places, I'm going to make sure my established ones don't have any demands, and no, they don't. Once they arrive there, I'll have to check to make sure that we are correctly mass driving things. Oh, there we go. Van Beesbrook's got a bunch of automated mines, and it's not actually shuffling anything anywhere, which that's a mistake, because that's when I set up manually a while ago, and I forgot to actually mass driver things to Earth, so oops. Nice to do these little checks from time to time. But there you go. Once some stuff arrives over here, that will start to happen. And these are the civilian places where I'm only buying stuff from Palma, and even then, actually, I should not be buying from Palma anymore, because they're basically out. I'm going to just tax it instead, because there's not enough to be worthwhile there anymore. And yeah. So the only 4 civilian mining systems left are not worth buying from. That being said, some of these places, like I think Venus, yeah, Venus has civilian mining complexes as well, and we should be buying that, and we are, because there's plenty of stuff left over there. In fact, because there's such a high number of minerals, most likely accessibility isn't going to drop for a while. I mean, the accessibility is only at a 2. I think there was one other thing that had a tiny little bit of it that we've mined out. So it's only at a 2, which means we're not actually mining very quickly, but we do have a lot of stuff here, so it was well worth organizing that. Stockpile continues to grow here. We are mining at a rate of 10,000. Oh, we don't have our own mass driver. We're just using the one from the civilian complex. So I'm going to put in an order over here for mass driver. I'm going to ask for like a couple. Demand a couple of mass drivers be delivered here. Right now we don't have the availability, but we will work on it. In my industry for Earth, I've got queued up. I'm going to finish the current load of automated mines, but then I've got a bunch of mass drivers in the queue that I'm going to start asking for, and then back to a bunch of automated mines. And we're just going to spread that all over. And at some point, these things are going to mine out. And actually, it might be worth just double checking that our accessibility at all these places is okay. Yeah, that's fine. Vesta's below the 2, but my stuff's already there, so it's not worth moving off yet. Van Beesbrook obviously is fine. Venus was fine. Wolf Harrington is fine. Sinope is getting really low. And in fact, I'm tempted to maybe pull the stuff off of there at this point. It's only mining 0.6 in total. There's a tiny little bit of stuff left, but you know what? Yeah, that's going to be fine. I'm going to say on Sinope over here, I'm going to put in a supply of 41 automated mines and 1 mass driver. Ideally, I'd like that automated mines to be picked up first, so that the last bit of stuff that's left over here gets picked up by the mass driver. Which I guess I can go and deal with later if I want to be 100% optimal, but I don't know if I care that much. It's not like it's going to make a huge difference. So we've got 41 automated mines here that we can supply, which will get carted over to the other stuff later on. That was Sinope and Cherniki over here, which is down below 1. And actually, I think there's civilian mining complexes here. There are. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off all of my 6 automated mines, so they can get transferred somewhere else, especially since we're still buying the civilian amounts over there. Okay, see, I like that. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is we do have our jump gate construction fleet. The McRiders over here, they've been busy. They have gone and created, they've got a jump gate at jump point 1 in the Sol system that goes to Wolf 359. And in Wolf 359, we have a jump gate that goes back. So we can go back and forth between these two systems as is, which is amazing. And I can't remember what orders it has right now. I just had it up, of course. I've told it, oh yes, it's going to go and build a jump gate in the Sol system, the one that goes to the Leuten system. The Leuten system is the other one that had a fair amount of planets that were colonizable. And then it's going to jump through that jump gate, because it can't jump on its own, but it can build a jump gate, it takes half a year. Then it can jump through it and build one on the other side, and then we'll probably get it to pop back at that point, for example. And finally, the first of the Gabuk class terraformers has been constructed. How come they only have 10% fuel? Did I flag that? Oh, that's why. I know why. Because I say I got lots of fuel. I think I was dabbling with a couple of different designs, and I was checking some things out, and I've flagged it as a tanker, and tankers only get spawned with 10% fuel because of reasons. Because if you were to use a Sorium harvester in orbit, you'd want it to start off with only 10% fuel. So we're going to have to tell this Gabuk. So if I've unflagged that, future ships of this class should be built with full fuel. And actually, speaking of which, I definitely want to build some more of those. Earth, manage shipyards, the Gabuk over here. Please build me another one. I think I might build a second jump gate as well. Oh, I am building that. Excellent, wonderful. Okay, that's good to see. So first of all, the Terraformer group, I'm going to tell you, go to Earth and refuel from own tankers. Yeah, see, you're not a tanker. Can I untag you so you're not counted as a tanker anymore? Because your class isn't. If I close this window and reopen it, it's probably, I'm thinking this guy's probably always going to be ranked as a tanker. Is it something I can do on a fleet level? I don't want you to be classed as a tanker. There's probably something in there. I'm going quite quickly. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so you are going to go to Earth and refuel from Colony. So at least you'll have a full tank of gas. That'll be fine. Then you're a terraformer. I'm actually going to send you just to Mars for now. Now, there is a weird command, not here, so move to Mars. In special orders, there is a command over here, right at the bottom for Terraform Company, or Colony. I'm actually not sure what it does. I don't think that's what we need to use. Let's check something out here. Mars currently has a terraforming rate of 0.315 atmosphere per year, right? And it's 10 terraformers, 315. So if we look at our terraformer, which is over here, and it's going to go to Mars, which is right up there. Ooh, nice short trip. It's going to arrive there. I guess it would have stopped anyway because it finished its orders. Now if we check out Mars, there we go. Effective terraforming modules in orbit, 6.25. It's kind of an odd number. Oh, commander bonus and things like that. Annual production, OT 503. So yeah, you don't have to give it a command to terraform. So I don't know what that terraform is. It's under primary. So does it just go to a colony that needs terraforming? But how does it know what to terraform? Or do you just like set a terraforming on all of your systems? That would be an interesting thing. Let's say I set up a job here on the moon, and I said, listen, I want to add gas like this, and I'm going to save that. I'm very curious if that fleet will automatically seek out things that have some sort of command in here. That would certainly be very interesting and kind of time-saving-y, but mostly we will manually take care of that. So we are going to be producing greenhouse gases a little bit faster, which is wonderful. So we're just going to let time skip ahead for now with the terraformer in orbit around Mars. Our plan is to send this through the jump gate to planet Essentia and to begin terraforming it in orbit. But we may as well finish Mars off here, especially since I want to move the infrastructure off Mars over to Mercury and set up a colony over there. Or do we do the moon? Actually, we might do the moon. Well, I suppose I can move the infrastructure to Mercury, move the terraforming stuff to the moon, which might be okay. We finished some new research. Trying to burn through a lot of research here. We've got a lot of people with a handful of labs put in. We've got 5 labs left over. I think that's for construction and production. That's the fuel thing that just finished. So we're going to grab maybe some more civilian construction rate and go there. So there's sort of a diminishing return if you add more labs. It's not entirely true, because there is more research points, but it sort of makes less of a difference overall. And I do like the idea of more people training. So that's why I'm like, mostly 5 labs each now. And then, you know, the people that are doing power and production will give them 10. More turret tracking speed. Great. Oh, you need more stuff queued up for that. So I'm doing some work on energy weapons because turret tracking speed is going to help our CIWS system. Apparently is the way. That's CIWS. Apparently, some naval people have pointed out that it's pronounced CIWS. It's a thing that does exist today. And I just thought that was just the cutest, most adorable thing ever. So, of course, we're going to say that from now on. Because it would be interesting to show off later, I think we will start researching some amount of beam tech because it would be cool to show. In particular, I think what we might do is try our hands at making some Meson fighters. And that would be cool. So Meson weapons are very short range, but they ignore armor and shield. So you have to get very close. Putting them on fighters is quite good because fighters can be very small, very, very hard to see. And you can actually make stealth fighters. That could be a reality. So we can start researching some Meson tech over here with that idea in mind. So let's go ahead and just get Bradley working on that for now. Okay. And skip a few more days, actually. Maybe even 30 months at a time, I'm not sure. Or 30 days at a time. Level ups. No unrest on Mars. Overcrowding. People are leveling up. I should probably go 30 days at a time. The supply of titanium on Sinope has exhausted. So what kind of stats are we looking at now? Yeah, just a half a unit over here, which is really not much. And actually, the Dream's about to mine out. Oh, isn't this the place where I put in the order to get rid of the mines? Which actually, and you have no mass driver anymore, right? No, you still have a mass driver. Did I not put in an order to someone pick up, like, supply mass driver? Did it get canceled because it was busy shooting things? It shouldn't. Let me just check here. So we've gone a tick. Sinope still has the mass drivers. Still has the contract. Maybe I just did the one for automated mines and I didn't do the mass driver one. At this point, there's really nothing left on that moon of Saturn to make it worthwhile. McRider has been built and has been assigned to shipyard task group. So McRider, that is another, jump gate construction ship. So we're going to go ahead and detach you and we're going to make, what do I call it? Jump gate construction task group 1. I'm going to make you, I don't know if you work them together, if they build things twice as fast, it's possible. But construction task group 2. But I'll have them work separately. So JSC McRider over here. So the jump gate construction ship is going to hang out in the Earth solar system. So we've got one jump ship already working on Luton over here. And again, maybe if you put 2, that would work faster, but that's okay. I'll split them up. So this guy's going to build jump gates at all the other jump gates, including the ones we haven't explored yet. Now, these are only outbound ones. Doesn't do anything on the other side. But I'm going to want jump gates in all the places. Get them to do that, and if at any point, for some reason, you happen to run out of fuel, just go and refuel. That's mostly going to involve if you're traveling between jump points. That may turn out to be an issue, but hopefully we're going to be okay. All right, how is Mars doing? Yeah, I think we can go in 30-day chunks here. We might lose a little bit of efficiency with our research. Something finishes partway through that doesn't have another queue. But there we go. So that did, so that's fine. More tech, and it looks like more things. Oh, no, there was some things that were requeued, but not that many of them. Lara over here, let me queue some more stuff in power and propulsion, because we're going to want to keep doing that. We're going to want to continue to get smaller and bigger engines. QU and QU, because our next set of ships, in fact, I'll make more powerful engines for our military ships later on. Speed on missile-bearing ships, as well as fighter carriers, don't matter quite so much, because missiles have such a long engagement range, but it's really important for beams, because you got to be fast enough to be able to close in on enemy ships, or run away if you run into too many problems, and you're going to be stuck being relatively close over there. I don't think we're going to need bigger squadron jump. More jump efficiency wouldn't hurt, or the next level of fusion reactor. I don't think I'm going to queue up too many things for her quite yet, though. Do we have anyone working in the biology genetics section? I don't think so. So let's get Joel Kent over here. We're going to work on the next level. Oh, we could work on the genome sequence research, which start to be a lot of fun. You know what? Let's get this level with 5 labs. I don't know if like this allows more, but yeah, the ability to start designing your own custom race to deal with environmental issues is kind of awesome. Let's go and add a bunch more labs to Bethany, actually. That's what we're going to do with her labs. And if we check construction and production, we'll probably go and give her another thing in the queue after that. So you can get other modules that build things faster, but that would only be on future ships. I mean, maybe I would have wanted to bulk research a bunch of these before building my first one, but I think we're fine with a 1.5 year construction time. Who cares? We'll make our shipyard more efficient, less costly to build different versions of it, to like swap swap which ship they're building, for example. Queue all that up, and then I'm going to go and queue up a big construction job after that, big like extra science research one. Okay, so we're just going to keep skipping ahead for now. More research, more research. Is that actually... Oh, that actually did finish some actual labs. Laura Hansen finished one. Ooh, the gravitational survey sensors on dead meat suffered a maintenance failure. I think, is that the first time we've seen that in a log? Let me go and make this nice red color so that we can see it clearly in the future. And maybe I'll make the text color white. There we go. Gravitational survey sensor on dead meat has suffered a maintenance failure. Repairs have been carried out that required 100 maintenance supply. Ship now has 4 maintenance supplies remaining. Current maintenance clock is 6 years. Okay, so dead meat has been doing this for a really long time. So first of all, dead meat. You actually have no orders right now. Where the hell are you? Center map. Oh, right. You couldn't come home. Hang on, we gotta go and rescue these guys. I forgot about that. I just had them parked, and I forgot they were a military ship. Because normally it's not a big deal. Sorry, I gotta turn that off because I don't remember. Or center map. You're in Lumen. Okay. Right. So my Soul Defense Fleet, just go to the Lumen jump point. Just move there. And let me know when you get there, because then the dead meat can jump through it. But yeah, commercial ships can stay out there forever. Military ships have their maintenance clock. They got to go and get refit. And apparently I forgot to assign some labs. Did I? Thought I had. You know what, just assign more labs to someone. I think K. Curtis has a bunch of jobs queued up, so let's go ahead and do that. There you go. So the Soul Defense Task Group has finished their job. So they're going to sit on the other side of the wormhole, and that should allow dead meat to transit through that wormhole, go to Earth. You're going to resupply, refuel, but also you'll go ahead and begin your overhaul, which will rewind your maintenance clock, which has gone on for way too long, and your failure rate's going to be way too high. So dead meat should be able to go through there, and it does. Wonderful. And then I'm going to tell my Soul Defense Task Group, to just return to Earth. Because the nice thing about being in orbit around Earth has maintenance bays, or whatever they're called, that is keeping the ships well maintained. As long as they're in orbit around Earth, they're going to be persistently maintained. One of the nice things about 7.2 that's going to come out is the ability to make some of those maintenance systems on ships themselves, which means what you can do is set up some sort of deep space starbase where ships could park themselves at and get like properly repaired and maintained, which is great. Supply of Sorium on Whipple has been exhausted. Now, Whipple wasn't one of the systems that we ourselves had any equipment on. We have no auto mines, they're just civilian mines, and we haven't been buying their stuff anyway. In fact, there's nothing left there, so I don't know if Whipple's going to get disbanded or what's going to happen. Presumably, this private industry won't leave their buildings over there, but I don't know. How are we doing on Mars? Base temperature is now up to 4.8. We're almost in the perfect human sweet spot. We're also almost there in terms of oxygen too, which is great. I'm just going to manually skip a few days at a time here so that we can see it happen. Oh, that's so lovely. I'm going to try to stop the greenhouse gases when we do hit 10. All minerals on Whipple have been exhausted. Civilian mining operations therefore shutting down. Excellent. No labs. Good. Alright, I forgot I was supposed to watch Mars here. Oh! The Gabook 002 has been built. So, the Gabook is another Terraformer ship. So what I'm going to do is click on it. I'm going to bring up the window so I can actually see the buttons. I'm going to detach it. And this task group, I'm actually going to tell it, I'm going to click Task Groups on, and I'm going to find the Terraforming Task Group 1, and I'm going to tell it to join Terraforming Task Group 1. Because I do want these things to work together to terraform things faster. Okay. Oh, Jumpgate Construction Task Group 1 finished all their orders. Did they? Oh, that's right. Yes, so now we have the ability to jump back and forth from the Luyten system, which the Luyten system, not to be confused with the Lumen system. The Lumen system is sucky, just has 2 suns and nothing else. The Luyten system has tons of awesome planets, and now vehicles can go back and forth between the two, which is great. How you doing in terms of your fuel's good, excellent, morale is fine. This system is also a dead end. I hadn't realized that. The Luyten system, no, we haven't done a gravitational survey here. Never mind. So tell you what, I'm going to send you back through Sol, then I'm going to send you to Wolf 359, then when you're there, I'm going to get you to build jump gates on all the outgoing jump gates from Wolf 359. There you go, keep you busy. Meanwhile, the dead mate, that's the thing, right? We haven't been able to do the gravitational survey because they were stuck in a sucky system. Dead meat. So you're overhauling. The maintenance clock, which had been over 6 years, is being rewound down to 0 over here. Once it hits 0, then what it will do is we'll send it out to the Luyten system. I must be able to rename the whole system, right? Galactic map over here. Okay, that's not a very helpful screen. System map. What if I open this? Rename system. There we go. So, I mean, I sort of want to keep some of this here, but I want them defined. So Luyten is good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to call these, and Lumen is bad. So let me rename this to, I don't know, Baron, so I remember that. Lumen Baron over here, and then that way I know that the systems that aren't marked as Baron are good. I wonder if I should get rid of the numbers. I mean, I like Wolf 359 because it's specifically mentioned in Star Trek Next Generation, of course. This is a real star, by the way. They're probably all real stars. I don't know. But yeah, Luyten, I guess we'll leave you there because you got so much stuff, some of which is borderline colonizable. There's a lot of stuff that is really, really, really close. I mean, it's not that close. It's still times 8. It needs a little bit more terraforming. Wolf 359 is still the sweet spot because that planet, which I have named Essentia over here, is great. It's just as good as Mars and the Moon, but it's actually a lot closer being colonizable than either one of those. So that's great. Jumpgate Construction 1 has completed its orders. Good. Let's go skip ahead. Ah, yes, the task group TR Gabook 2 has completed its orders because what it did is it joined the other terraforming fleet, and conveniently enough, it looks like it cleaned itself up as well. It removed itself from the list. So Terraforming Task Group 1 now has 2 terraforming ships there, which means that Mars is terraforming that much faster. Excellent. Yeah, really close. Oh, temperature is going up a lot. Almost a degree and a half. A little over a degree in 1 month period. And the oxygen percentage continues to go down. Some research finished. Do we have free labs? No, we don't, which is great. It means we have more stuff queued up. Let's go another 30-day chunk here on Mars. Okay, a little bit more. I'm going to try to bring it exactly up to 10. You don't have to do this. It's just going to feel good if we get it exactly right. Or as close to right as we can practically get. Oh, some people are retiring. I got to check the assignments. Also, I could have thrown... I wasn't even thinking about that. A terraform leader on this planet, on Mars, to terraform faster. 10.05. Although anyone who's commanding the spaceship will get a terraforming bonus there, which is nice. Hang on. $6.25. Isn't that what we had before? Wasn't that the number that it said when we had one ship? Now we have two and it's exactly the same? It might be crazy, or maybe you have to like leave and come back or something. Maybe something has to be reset, but I don't know. Anyway, we're there. We're at the temperature. I'm just going to pump out some nitrogen now. I'm just trying to bring the oxygen below 30%. Oh, we'll need a 30-day chunk over here. But you see, talking about overcrowding, it's because we still have a limit to our max population here because of infrastructure. As soon as this drops below 30, though, we'll be okay. Oh, the temperature's going up. How come it's still going up? Nitrogen can't possibly be, greenhouse gas? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe just more atmospheric pressure in general is adding that. So I could have switched over to nitrogen earlier. That's okay. So now it'll be slightly warmer. Oh, we have some inactive labs on Earth. Click on Earth. Click on Research. And yeah, we have a lot of categories not being worked. Biology, genetics. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the biology, genetics. So we can make... So can I make a race now? First of all, I don't remember where you do that. Thought it was on one of these screens. Oh, yeah, right here. Well, genetic modification centers. Select new species. No species modifications. So, first of all, do we need something? Is there such a thing as a genetic modification center? No. And I'm thinking we might... I haven't done this yet, clearly. We might need to grab one of these first. So, let's unlock a few of these. Joel Kent, you're going to work on... I mean, we don't know what planet. I guess take a look at Essentia here. And I've got to sneeze. Oh, boy. All right. What are the stats of Essentia? You have pressure and things. No gravity stats on this page? Well, we might have to go to the system view here. Grab Wolf 359. So I don't think this is going to be an issue, but just out of curiosity. Gravity, okay, gravity on Essentia is half of the gravity on Earth. Now, I don't think that's a problem, but in theory then, let's go and research a genome sequence that is meant for lower gravity. So we're going to start with that and see how it goes. Meanwhile, more tech, more tech. Yeah, it's always just going to go in 30-day chunks here. Temperature continues to go up. Okay, one more 30-day chunk, and I think we'll be where we want to be. Boom! Mars now has less than 30% oxygen. The oxygen pressure is above 0.1. The temperature is between -10 and +28. If we go to the summary screen, colony cost is now 0. Mars has been 100% adapted for human presence. If we go here, we can get a list of the exact characteristics of Mars. I believe their gravity is lower than Earth's, but not by that much. Mars, terrestrial planet. Surface temp is, just a little cooler than Earth, but well within the norms. Is a fair bit lighter, and that's it. I don't know. Liquid hydrosphere. That's to say the, we have liquid water over here. Extent, I don't remember what that is. I think that's like amount of place you can colonize, or that might be the extent of the water. It's one, I don't know. It's one of those things. But in any case, Mars is now deep blue over here, which means we don't need any infrastructure whatsoever. You know, planetary suitability, colony cost, 0. Infrastructure required per million population, 0. We have almost 6,000 infrastructure here. So 5965, 5965, 5965. Mars is now going to make this infrastructure available to the civilian traders that are going around. And in particular, on Mars, or on Mercury, I will ask for that amount. I will basically be asking for all this infrastructure to be transferred over to Mercury. Meanwhile, back on Mars, and that's going to make an actual colony on Mercury, and people will start to move over there. The second there's any infrastructure, these civilian colony ships will move people to Mercury, which is very exciting. Meanwhile, also on Mars, we have 10 terraforming installations, so I will also make the 10 terraforming installations be supplied. And I'm going to move them to Luna over here, which has a nice large population. We will demand the 10 terraforming installations over here. Terraforming installations have to be worked by people, so you want to use these on places where you already have people, and Luna's got plenty of people. It's got almost 400 million people living on it. It's got a third of the population of Earth is living on the moon over here, and that's going to be excellent. Now Mars, that will happen. That population should continue to grow here because people should shuffle them over there now that they're not at the population limit, right? The moon is basically just hovering at its population limit because of the infrastructure. Mars has no limit, so people should get freely shuttled over there pretty well. Could grant an independence. Not going to happen. At least not yet. So our terraforming task group, you've got a new job. You're going to jump through Wolf 359 through the jump gate. Then you're going to go to planet Essentia, and you're just going to move around it in orbit. And actually, hold on. This is a good time for us to test something out. Let me scratch that. I am just going to tell you, just go to Wolf. Now, if we go ahead and let that happen, at some point we'll see the orders completed. New ships being built. You haven't gotten there yet? You're still on your way? I mean, you must be. I didn't screw that up. No, you're still heading to the Wolf 359 jump point. Okay, fair enough. Now, I did set Mars to produce, or sorry, the moon, my bad, to produce oxygen, right? Yes, and that is happening. Things haven't been ferried over yet, but that's okay. Most likely, they're going to move all the infrastructure off Mars first, because that was the first thing in the list, and yeah, it has started to move. And of course, it's been transferred over to Mercury. Mercury's got 2,000 infrastructure. It does need 1.6k infrastructure per million people. It's going to be hard to get a good number of people on Mercury, but, you know, we'll be able to start progressing it there. That's fine. Seriously, though, I guess the jump point, now that I think about it, for Wolf 359 is fairly far out. It's right over here, and this terraforming task group doesn't move very quickly, but it's just about to go through. There you go. It has completed orders. So what I want to test is in Wolf 359, well, I want to go to Essentia. Okay, Essentia doesn't have terraforming assigned. Right. So now if I grab terraforming and I give them a default order to terraform a colony, and we skip ahead just one day, you gonna do anything? Oh, yeah, it's gonna jump back to Sol, because that's probably the closest colony where it has a terraforming mission, which would be Mars, because that's been assigned there. And I bet you that would be queued up too. Just going through Sol. That's kind of weird. Instead, what I'm gonna do is on Essentia, just testing this out. I mean, doing it manually seems pretty easy. But on Essentia, which already has some oxygen, although it's such low pressure, it effectively has none. We're going to say, start producing oxygen, please, add it to the environment, because you can also remove, and we're going to bring the maximum atmosphere up to 0.1. If you have a toxic gas in the atmosphere, you say, don't add to the atmosphere and set a max of 0. But obviously with oxygen, we are good with this. So now it's got a command. So now, if I go here and you have your default order and advance for 1 hour, Are you still planning on jumping through there? Weird. Anyway, I'm gonna override you. Maybe because there's no colony there yet. That may have something to do with it, but that's all right. Essentia should be in this list, shouldn't it? With a 0 human. Oh, remove all. It's because the jump point was there. There. Go to Essentia, move there, and I'm going to remove your special order, because otherwise you might still leave for an actual colony that's got people on it. Essentia doesn't have people yet, but it will. In fact, as soon as it becomes terraformed, we may never ship any infrastructure here. We're just going to wait until it gets terraformed. We got some research, unrest because of overcrowding on Mars. We're going to get that a lot, because it needs a ton of infrastructure to not be overcrowded. So the maple syrup is still looking around at all the asteroids here in the Wolf 359 sector. So the plan is to set up a proper colony on Essentia. Ooh, cloaking theory. Do we have something else queued up for you after that? No, we don't. Defensive systems. So cloak sensor reduction. So if you do put a cloak on these things, it makes your ship just effectively be smaller. And I think the efficiency changes the size. I think this is fixed. The effective size reduction if you add this cloaking thing, but I think this will just make it actually take up less space on your ship. Min cloak size, the smallest cloak that could be created. Yeah, so it'll be really nice for some tiny, tiny little ships later on. So that was mostly just for laughs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on a round of ceramic armor, so new armor. And then I'm going to queue up the next level of shields. The shield regeneration rate, and we'll get you to get the next level of a thermal signature, which might be really handy for our stealthy ships later on. So just go ahead 5 days at a time. So you've completed orders, so now you're in orbit around Essentia. Which is where now? Hang on. Oh, terraforming sites. Oh, got its own category. It's got 12 times orbital things. Yeah, see, the full rate is there. So I think because of the way the fleets merged, I don't think that the second ship ever added its bonus to Mars. I think we would have had to leave Mars and return to it. Just like step away for like literally like 1 minute of game time and then loop right back around to Mars. And I think it would have reset it. We were never using that second ship, but that's good to know. Interesting little glitch there, as far as I can tell. So our annual production isn't bad, because it's only going to take us 3 years, actually less than 3 years. It's going to take us like 2.5 years to finish the oxygen, bring it up to 0.1 atmosphere. These ships are really, really, really working quite well. Now, they are large ships with a lot of modules each. So, you know, it's a pretty big investment that way, but I'm pretty happy about that. And if we skip ahead 30 days, oxygen number changes, right? And it does. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Sweet. Supply of mercasium on Earth has expired. Oh, so Earth is definitely starting to run out of all its minerals. It's still worth mining at this point. Oops. Oh, I double-clicked on Sol, and that opens up that list. I was like, why is everything going so slow? Earth, it's starting to hurt. 0.7, 1.3. Yeah, okay, it's got just enough to be still worthwhile, and certainly, of course, we've got the mines. Oh, I can put in an order for the automated mines. I can say I've got 10 mass drivers. I can supply 10 mass drivers because I still have those private contracts, and we have 148 automated mines I can offer up now. 148 supply automated mines, excellent, and indeed, it has worked. This system here is one of the places where I set up the demand. So you should have a mass driver. Yep, because you don't have a demand for it anymore. And you have started mining. Here we go. So I have to make sure to do a pass and make sure they're actually sending stuff to Earth as we explore new ones. But I think, oh, there we go. That's a new one as well. Go to Earth. Thank you. So a lot of these will mine out. Actually, that's pretty good. Some of these are relatively small and will mine out quickly, and that's okay. Then again, I'll keep using the civilian people to just like shuffle it around for me. It's a lot easier than me having to micromanage this stuff, and I think that's lovely. And we're going to be doing the same thing in the Essentia system. All right, well, we're going to put a cut in here, but I'm really excited for how things are going. And so far, humanity has found no evidence whatsoever of other life in the galaxy. We have not encountered any other races. Actually, we haven't even found any proper terrestrial planets yet. nor have we found any sort of like, precursor type people. We haven't found any old ruins to show that there's been life. As far as humanity knows right now, we might be totally alone in the universe. That's going to change soon, I'm 100% sure. See you soon, folks. Bye-bye.